from the producers of the Council of Trent and Vatican I.
Cardinals, we must do something about rationalism.
Our Pope faces the modern world.
I speak to people on the telephone 5,000 miles away. There are nuclear bombs. No one speaks Latin at home no more. The world is changing. Things are not like they used to be.
Follow the continuing saga in the Vatican II, the renewal.
Welcome to Catholic Central. I'm Nick.
And I'm Gabby. Reset, renew, reform.
Renovate, recycle, relapse.
What are you doing?
We're not just doing words that start with re.
No, we're talking today about Vatican II.
Oh, right. Which, to be fair, involves a lot of re words.
Just like us, the church from time to time needs to reset and take a look at where it's at with its original goals.
And just like me when I look back on my New Year's resolutions, the results have been controversial.
Vatican II is what Catholics call the Second Ecumenical Council of the Vatican, which took place between 1962 and 1965.
Councils have been called throughout church history to clarify church teaching and practice and settle disputes.
Ever since the first council in Jerusalem in 50 AD.
Pope John XXIII called the council because he saw a need for updating, or in Italian, aggiornamento.
This didn't mean an overhaul of church teaching, but clarifications and reform to connect to modern Catholics.
He had three main hopes when he called the council.
A new Pentecost, or blossoming for the church.
Progress toward the unification of all Christians.
And contributions from the church toward solving modern social and economic issues, like war and poverty.
Which had never existed before the 20th century.
They did, but new inventions like nuclear war, air travel, and instant communication made things slightly more complicated.
Along with many other things that made this moment in history unique.
Since the Protestant Reformation, the church had often taken a suspicious stance against the world.
Which included everything from the Enlightenment to the Three Musketeers to secular forms of government.
So what are the major things that changed as a result?
Let's start with the Mass.
A look back into early Christian history revealed how far removed the Mass was from its early days.
In the early church, Latin would have been the everyday language of the people, and participants were active in worship.
While there are lots of unique and beautiful things about the Mass before Vatican II, it also allowed for things like this.
Did he ring the consecration bells yet?
Oh, heck if I know, darling. All I know is that man needs a haircut.
Vatican II introduced a new style for the Mass called the Novus Ordo, or New Order. The goal was that people would be engaged and active in their participation.
The Novus Ordo turned the priest around so that he faced the congregation, making it easier to see and hear what was going on.
It gave the ordinary people in the pews more things to say and do. It also emphasized the reading of Scripture, adding readings from most of the books of the Bible through a regular rotation of passages.
It used the everyday language of the community for Mass, rather than Latin, to make everything easier to understand.
While this was a major change at the time, it maintained the ancient structure of the Mass while restoring it closer to the way early Christians worshipped.
So, in a sense, the Novus Ordo is more traditional than the Tridentine Mass.
The next big changes came in the field of ecumenism. Ecumenism comes from the ancient Greek word meaning the house of the whole world.
Up until now, the Catholic Church had resisted relationships with other religions or Christian denominations.
Some people in the church had been operating with the attitude that there could be no salvation outside the church, even though that was never official. As the church encountered sincere people of other faiths and new cultures, it was increasingly harder to maintain.
Pope John XXIII invited representatives from other faiths to participate in Vatican II in order to enhance the dialogue with them.
Vatican II officially acknowledged that salvation was possible outside Catholicism, since Jesus came to save all people. This gave hope for the unification of all Christians and improved relationships with non-Christian religions,
while at the same time highlighting the unique gifts of Catholicism and its role in the fullness of salvation.
It also highlighted the importance of freedom of religion in society and informed freedom of conscience for Catholics. Next up, the Bible.
Pre-Vatican II, many Catholics didn't have much of a relationship with Scripture.
That was one of the biggest criticisms of the Protestant Reformation, and it took the church a little while to catch up.
But Vatican II encouraged new printings and translations of the Bible to make it more accessible.
It also added more scripture to the Mass and empowered lay people to proclaim the scriptures at the liturgy.
Vatican II also renewed religious life, encouraging reforms to inspire people to focus on their mission of service and to make their habits more simple.
To minimize the risk that they'd accidentally fly away.
In the documents of Vatican II, the Church came right out to condemn the evils of modern war. Vatican II hasn't been without controversy, though.
Some traditionalist Catholics question whether or not it was even a valid council.
Over the years, though, the Church has affirmed its teachings.
The Church is ever changing, from the very beginning.
The Latin phrase for this is semper reformanda, or always reforming.
There has always been a constant evolution in the way Catholics have approached liturgy and translations of the Bible, as well as adaptations to local cultures, especially as the Church reached out beyond Europe.
Vatican II urged respect for these local variations, envisioning a church united and at peace in its diversity, with an emphasis on the essential elements core to our belief.
The legacy of Vatican II continues today with synods.
These are like mini councils that invite all church members to express their opinions on relevant issues in the church and their lives. They are for the church to listen to one another,
as well as emphasize moral theology based on scripture and love.
Vatican II continues to remind us that we all can get involved in the church and help shape it for the future.
And that there's always room for renewal.
And going back to our roots. For Catholic Central, I'm Gabby.
And I'm Nick. Be sure to like and subscribe below.